Yo, yo. How's it going? Hello.
Oh, is my audio settings?
You're
My
good.
audio might be wrong. I'm not hearing you.
You can't hear me?
One second.
Okay.
Ah, this audio setting is working. I can hear
Hello?
typing.
Okay.
Okay,
There we
yeah,
go. Nice. Hey,
hello.
how's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty well. Playing Fox, I'm having a good time.
Yeah. I'm glad you were proactive about getting this set up because I was like, I'll talk to him later.
Yeah, no, yeah. I kind of was like, I can either do nothing here, and then I'm gonna forget everything, and I don't know if I'm gonna like use that to be productive in any way, or I
Mm-hmm.
can actually just send a Discord DM, and it's not actually that hard to send a Discord DM. It turns out
Also, I
you can just do
apologize
it.
in advance. Sometime in the last 2 minutes, I've developed the hiccups, so I apologize if
Oh,
I'm hiccuping for a couple minutes of this lesson.
isn't that just the way?
That's thinking about Peach Falcon gets me hiccuping
Thinking
all
about
the
Peach
time.
Falcon? Okay, so
Or we can talk about the other stuff if you'd like first. It's up to you.
yeah, I have thought through this in terms of what will bring me the greatest value um, in my gameplay, in my life, um, with regard to my Shine 2022 losses. Um, One notable thing, I mean, there's like several reasons for this, which I could go into, but whatever. Uh, I was not playing perhaps the best I have ever played. I sat down on the setup with Mech and I was doing hand warmers, and I was like, I think I'm only experiencing like every third beat of like reality right now. I
I
was
when
kind
I
of
was at a Smash World tour and I went up on stage to play Kobold, I remember I was warming up with the level 4 Fox CPU, and I kept missing the up B. Like the Fox would up B and I would like whiff my up B like back air, and I was like, this cannot be good. Like
Yeah, no, I was like, I did like a wave dash and then a dash. And I like had those options pre-programmed in my mind as that was just what my hands were doing. And it's like, I was like, okay, I'm in this place and I'm about to do it. And then I saw myself after the dash and I was like, this can't be good. And then I was like, oh, I haven't eaten anything. I'm super dehydrated. I had like
yeah.
an insanely busy week. I'm like ridiculously exhausted. And then I was like, huh, well, we'll just see what happens here. And
Okay,
then
okay.
I played my default gameplay that I play when I don't really have much of a brain.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that default gameplay does not understand the concept of a reactable range and actually forcing
Mm.
mix-ups at any point.
Like
It
you were
only
just
wants
throwing out moves, or
pretty much my default gameplay is like I would like to hit them with the move and do a combo, thus that the set wins and I am the victor. But then I have one more layer on top of that, which is like, well, I can't just go hit them with a move. So I'm going to throw out undershot aerials repeatedly. And then I land on the ground and I'm like, uh-oh, I'm on the ground. It's probably about time to shield. And that's kind of like what my playing without that much thought game looks like right
mm-hmm,
now, and I
mm-hmm.
experienced quite an amount of that. There's
I
that, and
see.
then I uh, I would find myself suddenly being hit, and I was like, what happened there?
The worst is when
But
you see the attack coming, and you're like, oh no, here it comes, and like you
yes,
just don't seem to have the energy to like shield or dash away. You're like,
yeah,
go on,
yeah.
hands, here they come, they're coming right at me, and your hands are like, what's so
No, I was
bad about getting hit anyway? You know? Like, no, I've felt that, and that's why I'm super like, I'm very like I'm more focused on food and water at an event than like warm ups
that
because
is
it's
yeah.
just incredibly important for me in particular. Like I asked HBox like, what is your normal like eating schedule like? This was at Pound, and he goes, oh, I just don't eat anything the whole day, and I just drink a Red Bull every few hours. I was like, oh.
That's the shit I'm on.
He's like,
That's like exactly what I did at Shy.
see, the problem with that is I have a human body. Most human bodies aren't able to compete on only Red Bull.
Oh
But
my god.
I
Why
guess
can't I
it's
be like him?
I guess it's different for everybody.
Yeah, it's just it's the floaty player specialty, you know.
Yeah, no,
No,
seriously. You just
I
need
think
enough caffeine for one up air.
yeah, exactly one time. No. So I think what ended up happening, this also happened in doubles grand finals. I like stopped being able to really. So I think my default gameplay that I play when I'm not like really thinking, my kind of like my hands are just playing melee right now, is
Mm-hmm.
just bad.
I
Like
see. So you have a bad
just
autopilot.
yeah. I think my
Mm.
autopilot, I have to be like focusing in. I realized
Mm-hmm.
something recently because I had like not liked melee for a while because I was just kind of playing it out of obligation slash by default,
Yeah, I've
because it's
been
just kind
there.
of like yeah thing I do. And I was playing a set of Pichito friendlies versus Wally, dear friend. And I was thinking, I was like 30 minutes in, and I was thinking, this is a waste of my time. I do not care about anything that's happening right now. And then
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wait, maybe I just need to have like a freakish desire to win every single one of these friendlies as hard as I can
Mm-hmm.
and like play the absolute greatest melee I can play. And then I like actually got into the zone and played real melee for the first time in
Mm.
what has it's been a minute. I've been playing
Mm-hmm.
bad melee for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Um
No, you've definitely been like kind of on like the skill decay train where you're like, I'm still
uh,
decent, you know, like
I
I've been there.
yeah, I think I like it's been a mixture of like I had some brain fog that came around in like February and didn't leave for months,
Oh,
which was
unfortunate.
that was unfortunate for sure. And recently I felt a lot better and I've been able to like think much more clearly,
Okay,
which
good to
has
hear
been
that.
super cool.
Which must be why
Yeah.
you immediately, wanted to get a lesson with me
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. No, I came to my senses.
Yeah.
No, so yeah, that was like a couple of weeks before SmashCon, and then I started like really playing, and I was like, oh my god, I'm improving, and I
Mm-hmm.
love the game, and I'm grinding, I'm adding new things. This is so dope. Um, and then HBox beat Lod at Super Smash Con 2022 in that fashion, and I was like, oh no, it is time for me to need to play Fox right now and have that
Mm-hmm.
be the only thing I do
I see,
because
yeah. I don't
that
blame
was
you.
yeah, that was kind of that set, and like to a lesser extent, like okay, your analysis of HBox versus me at Smash World Tour was like first nail in the coffin, right?
Yeah, it's like the little domino on the big domino thing.
Yeah, no, it's that's when I really started like, okay, my like sanity fox needs to become real. Like
Mm-hmm.
the sanity fox in terms of like if I really like playing high level melee, right? I would
Mm-hmm.
like to play extremely high level melee. That's cool to me. And if at any point my character choice shuts me out from being able to play at a higher and a higher and a higher level,
Mm-hmm.
that like isn't cool.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
definitely
like
upsetting.
yeah, no, that does make me upset for sure. So like that's the sanity fox was born, where I
I
was like,
see.
let's like work on this somewhat in the background, and if I ever like do flip the switch and I'm like I need to dual main in order to have success in tournaments, then it's like I'm not starting from absolute square one.
Right.
So, but SmashCon Lot HBox was I just watched HBox like it's gotten like so much better recently. Oh my god. I watched him like
HBox,
action.
yeah.
Yeah, I watched him like beat Laud for the first two games, playing Peach Puff like an even matchup, and I was like, he's like throwing right now, but he's winning anyway.
Yeah.
And then he lost the third game playing an even matchup, and then I watched him just stop and just play the matchup the real
Mm-hmm.
way, and it was so bad.
It's a rough one, yeah. You know my opinion
Yeah,
on that, but
yeah, no, I've heard. I watched the video. I watched the hour and a half long video.
it
The
was a little
betrayal,
long.
the post Smash World Tour betrayal. We were having
I
such a
just
good time.
I for like I want you to beat HBox every time, but I hate when it's like fake. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I. People are like, "Oh, you're so good at Peach Puff, you beat H-Box." And now I'm literally telling him, like, "Don't say that to me. Like that was not
Like, is it
real."
possible to be good at a matchup where you can't interact? Like,
Yeah, God, no, it is so rough. But yeah, so since then, I've been like hyper focused on like I am going to move Fox around the screen. I am going to have some level of ideas with Fox. I am going to learn Fox as much as I can, as fast as I can.
mm-hmm.
Um, and I got to Shine, and in addition to like, there's like exhaustion from like I had come to Shine, like literally I had driven from a family vacation midway
Mm-hmm.
through the week. That was like very, it was a lot of fun, but it was very tiring to Shine. There was the food stuff, and then I got there and I was like, this is the only time I will ever say this, but I would rather not be at this major, and I would rather be like at my home playing Fox in like a net play tournament.
Oh
To
wow.
like, I want to be playing
Down
Fox
bad.
and improve. Yeah, I was down so bad. I was sitting in the venue after my round two pools, and I was like, I would love to be entered in ECF as Fox so bad right now, but this tournament that's happening just does not matter to me.
mm-hmm.
I was just kind of like, I think
I'm
I hit like
curious why you didn't play Fox.
because my Fox is pretty bad right now. Um,
But
so
it
it's
would you would get like I think oh wow Zane thank you or Zan thank you for the raid. um, appreciate it. Okay. Let's see. What was I going to say before Zane raided me with 300 people?
surprised you didn't play Fox because
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
not
I was
feeling
gonna
Peach.
say that like if it's not gonna be like a great Peach tournament, you could have gotten like one major's worth of Fox experience with your bad Fox. And that
Yeah, my
there's it's debatable, but I think personally that like if you're not gonna like you're gonna learn the most with whichever one you like want to play. Like whichever
yeah,
character you're having fun with is like that's the character you should be playing.
yeah. No, I mean that is really fair, but it feels like there's just such an immense like gulf between the two right now
It's
that it's
not even
like,
about that. I think it's just literally the experience of it.
yeah,
Like it's
I
just actually like I played tournament matches at a major venue with Fox.
Yeah, that is fair. Now I played like one of my I played Fox in pools because I wanted to play Fox
Okay,
and
that's
I
good
was
at
like
least.
this won't change my life whatsoever with regard to tournament results.
Mm-hmm.
Um and that was pretty cool. I got to like play on stage and I missed all my inputs and it was absolutely terrible. And like I won the set, but I was like, "Huh, that was a nice little like piece of experience to get up there on the
Mm-hmm.
stage and be like, look, I'm a Fox. I am being presented to some like whatever it pools audience crowd, nobody cares about the set,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's on the stage and I'm playing Fox and I'm like just missing all my short hops.
It's what
I
it's
get
all
like
about.
I get a shine, I do not hit the wave shine and I'm like, oh god, yeah, what a little experience. But I think I kind of like this is I don't know, this is something I kind of struggle with in life in general is I want to be like as good as I can before I try something. I don't want to throw myself into things. I want to be like I want to prepare, I want to get really good,
Mm-hmm.
I want to grind it up, and then like once my Fox has endured the trials of ECF enough times, I'm like
Mm-hmm.
now we're pulling it out and we're gonna choke on the big stage, but we're gonna choke better.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, I don't know. It's there's some sense of like I felt as someone who is at a tournament and is a Peach player, I was like, I should probably do this as Peach. That is a good question. Why didn't I just play Fox? It feels like it would be like letting some people down in terms of like TOs like expect me to be Peach with regard to seeding
Yeah,
and like
but who
yeah,
cares
it feels
about
like an
that?
yeah, it does feel like yeah, fuck TOs.
Not. I'm just saying, like, it's
Yeah,
not like
no,
they're
I know.
like they're not like personally gonna be hurt. They're not like,
Yeah,
I
no,
need
for sure, for
Polish
sure.
is a peach though. Like they're not like. It's like you can kind of do whatever you want in terms of like character choice.
Yeah, this is also what I'm going through with regard to like Riptide's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
and Big House is coming up. I'm
Mm-hmm.
registered for both of these tournaments, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm really beginning to think about like what do I prioritize with Melee? Because my thing that I want to do right now, I have started to conceptualize Fox as part of my Melee avatar,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And now I am looking at my Fox and my Peach, and I'm like, well, my Peach is like, all right now. It's bad if I play it out of obligation and just like am on the screen doing whatever under
Mm-hmm.
other poor conditions, right? But then my Fox is like just down horrendous. He is in
Mm-hmm.
need of so much immediate help.
Mm-hmm.
So all of my focus is just on that. And I'm like, should I go to my upcoming majors and just like underperform with Peach because I don't really want to play her? Should I try to be playing both? Should I grind more Peach and be like, oh, I need to get the Smash World Tour points so I can go to the whatever thing at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
year? Like, I and then beyond that, I just do not know how to dual main in general because it's very hard for me to fit one melee character into my head, right? I
Yeah, I
have
feel that.
learned, yeah, I have learned with Peach many, many, many things. And I am not sure, like when I was playing like a lot of Fox and only thinking about Fox and then going back to Peach, it's like it's not all fresh. I was in neutral with Mech, and he was doing back air in place, standing up tilt, dash dance outside of my immediate threat range. And I was like, do I have an answer right now? And I was like, no, no, I don't. I don't think I can change the result of this set. And I just kind of had to accept that at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I think it really was a combination of like starting up dual maining, having one character that I have to grind up so much that it takes all my focus, other
Mm-hmm.
external factors. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like most of my questions right now are just around like, where do we go from here for me? What should
Mm-hmm.
I do?
Mm-hmm. So, huh. I I always think that like I think that like basically like our brains are kind of wired to like follow the rewards, you know, like when
Mhm.
you're having fun with a character, your brain wants to play that character. And so I think it's like for me personally, I think it's like a lot of like feel based stuff in terms of like like I'll do something like okay, I'll be like when I'm picking up a character, not necessarily like picking up Falco because that was like a main switch, but when I was trying to like dual
Yeah.
main like Marth or Peach or whatever, it's kind of like I would be like, okay, I'm just this one main, like I'm just a Peach main, and then I would go to a tournament and like just play Peach as a Peach main, and I think that like those experiences, like solo maining a character, are like really important. And but eventually, if you are truly a dual main at heart, because that's the thing is like it's like there's a little bit of like identity tied into it, right? Like you were saying, like you start feeling like Fox is part of your like melee avatar kind of thing, right? And
Mhm.
so it's like you don't know exactly what's going on. Like you don't know. Like what if you're just a Fox main and you don't know it yet? Or you might just be like a Peach main and Fox really isn't for you and you don't know. It's more of like an exploration than like you can't decide ahead of time that like you will 50-50 dual main characters. You know, like Kalindi is trying to dual main Fox and Falco, but his Falco's way behind, so he's basically a Falco main right now, like 95% Falco, 5% Fox. But
Yeah.
you know, he still sees himself very much as like, oh, I'm still definitely like a Fox dual main. But if somebody was just looking at his results, they'd be like, oh no, the guy switched to Falco. And so it's like, I think like the mental constructs of like, do I main this character? Am I a dual main of this character? Those types of things are sort of separate from like the reality. Like, you might literally be like a Fox main for like 3 months, and then after 3 months, you're like, I really miss Peach. I want to play Peach more. And then you play Peach again, you know, and then you're just like, I'm just going back to all Peach. And then a year later, you're like, you know what? I think I do want to dual main Fox. And now you have 3 months of solo maining Fox experience towards, you know, that goal. So I think it's impossible to like plan your own future feelings, kind of, you know? And so I think you kind of just have to like play it by ear. Like, which character are you enjoying the most at the point that these like majors occur, you know? And if you feel like you're getting the most out of playing Fox at that point, I would say definitely go Fox. Like, I honestly feel like going Falco pretty early in my Falco development, and like playing basically like playing heated game 5s against people that I never should lose to in my life and then losing, like, that's a great way to get better at a character. Like, because your brain will kind of work overtime, you know, to be like, I'm never losing to that again, you know? And so a lot of times I try to like encourage people when they're picking up new characters to kind of like go all the way and just be like maybe, you know, maybe you can't cut it as a Fox main. Maybe you're just bound to be a bad Fox forever. But you won't know unless you, like, try and sort of accept that, like, possibility. And I think that when people try to, like, hang on, like, if you're, like, trying to hang on to your Peach, I don't want to say ego, but, like, results, like, expectations, and you're trying to, like, maintain that while catching Fox up, it can end up, like, kind of ineffective. It's kind of like your true performance that you're working towards is like a working Peach and Fox. So like your Peach in the meantime while you're working on your Fox doesn't really matter. Like, results in tournaments don't matter when you're like not ready for them. Like, if you're not ready for a tournament, then like you're not going to win it anyway. Like, you might as well try to get as much experiences out of it as you can in terms of like learning. That's kind of how I see it.
Okay. Okay, no, that is very fair. Yeah, in that case, it does kind of like... That is a very divorce tournament results from... I guess, like, just stop tournament results from being a thing that is really meaningful or matters to me at the moment.
No. Here, what I'm saying is it has to matter to you as, like, a bad Fox main.
As a Fox, yeah. No. That's the thing. I think of it, and it's like my current echelon of, like, oh, this is where I am in tournaments, and whatever perception of my skill people have, whatever, that exists. I try to not to focus on that. I try to focus on, like, I just want to play quality Melee versus people who present me with ideas.
I agree.
I engage with.
That's definitely the impression I've always got from you. I never felt like you were just like a results fiend, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, but at your core, it is so hard to divorce yourself entirely from, like, I got a result, I got a win, and now there's all this win dopamine, and people are like, you got that win, that's so crazy.
Like, oh no, I mean, of course it feels good.
Yeah, no, it's like there's just a whole like thing there where it's like it is hard to be like, okay, now I am going to lose a bunch.
It's kind of like prestiging in like a video game. You're like, all right, we're going back to level 1, you know, and it's kind of fun. Yeah. Like, you get to like conquer a bunch of like easy targets. Like, it's really fun when you switch. Like, I love this when I pick up a new character. Marth, Peach, Falco, it's been all the same. Like, you pick up a new character and like people that are like 0-100 against you in tournament are like, don't you think that character is ever gonna beat me? You only beat me because you played Fox. You're never gonna beat me with your Peach. And it's just like somebody that like is easy. You can beat them with any character. And so, like, you get to, like, conquer these small goals and, like, feel good about it. Whereas, like, if you, like, are still hanging on to the Peach stuff, you might be like, well, I beat them, but I could have just force-stalked them with my Peach anyway, so who cares? But when you have people like, I knew you couldn't beat me, and then you're like, your Peach is rusty too, and then they're just like, you're just bad now, I'm just cracked, you know? And you're like, and, like, living with that, I think, is, like, that's kind of how people get good in the first place with their main characters. You know, you have all these targets of people that think they're better than you, and you know that you can, you know, come up with ideas that will beat them, and like that whole process, I think, is like the quickest way to improve. Like feeling personally like not put down, but like being like I know I can do better than this, but like I don't know. I definitely feel that like I think like a good example that's driving me currently is like Kadoran, where I beat him with Fox like every time when we used to play, and then I
Yeah.
went through this sort of Falco refresh, and it's like his best matchup, and now he kind of gives me this attitude like, yeah, like I'm never gonna lose to Fiction, and it's like, dude, like you used to never ever beat me, you know, and like I think that is like I would not be training against Marth like I am right now if I wasn't incredibly angry about that, you know?
Yeah, if it wasn't the Kadoran goal.
And it's like especially when I first started, you know, it's so tempting to like and people will tell you like, nah, man, just go Fox and mess this guy up, like get him, you know, and it's like, no, like I'm just the bad Falco main, like they're just better at the game, and then like you know you have to like, cry alone, and then like 3 months later they kind of have to hold that once you beat him with your new character, you know,
Yeah.
and
No, that's
like
very fair.
yeah,
God, yeah, I am kind of wondering because I'm thinking about it, and like my current like approach to this was to be like, I'm gonna play Fox in all of these like, I don't really care about them tournament, like it's net play tournaments, whatever, you know, that is
mm-hmm.
already so divorced from anything that matters to me that my only focus would be like, what am I working on right now with Fox? What is the delta of improvement from when I played Fox last time to what I when I played Fox this time? It's kind
Mm-hmm.
of like I want to just build it up like that, but putting it into an environment where it's like, okay, there is stress, there is risk, we care about this, this is big.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is that possible for me? Or like, do I care about tournament results?
For me, even when I'm like I don't care, like I'm just here to practice, and you're just you know you're just playing some person and they'll miss like 19 tech chases in a row, and it's like last stock, and you're like no, like I need to, like I feel like the like clutching low level sets with your bad character is like
Mm,
important development.
I
I
have
think
been clutching a few low level sets at the local recently, but then also my mentality about that is like, oh, it's the local, whatever. If I lose, if I
mm-hmm,
haven't put my Fox in a situation where if I lost, it would like be like, damn,
it
this
would
really
bother
sucks,
you, right?
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this is real bad. My
Mm-hmm.
Fox just like I just played a bunch of unranked and now I win my locals, and uh maybe I need to like enter online tournaments and like care and be like, whatever the difference is, like, because you know people get really good off this. It is definitely close enough to like uh melee without those 2 frames of audio delay that like I think it
Mm-hmm.
is. Maybe I should just care about that.
I personally
Hmm.
think that it's like an easy road to fast improvement. Is
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
caring and then losing, and then
Okay.
you're asleep and your brain is like next time we're hitting that back air, like literally like while you're sleeping because your brain is still mad, you know. Whereas if you're not mad, you
Yeah.
go to bed, you're like, I'll work on spacing, I'll just keep working on it, like it's okay, you know, like it doesn't
Mm.
activate the same like parts of you competitively, I feel like.
Yeah,
And
there
like
definitely is kind.
ultimately, if you're trying to bring your Fox up to a level or like even past your Peach, like your Peach didn't get to that level by like not caring and just like, oh, I'll just
Yeah.
implement things, you know, it's fine, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Yeah,
love
no,
that. I love that
actually,
the noise.
I'm a very, I'm okay. So I'm a kinesthetic learner. So
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like being given this advice with like, I now have new concepts to try, right? I have my
Mm-hmm.
previous concept of what happens if I play Fox in an on, like, okay, I have what happens if I play Fox in a local. The answer is I win. That's cool. I do learn things and it is enjoyable. I have what if I play Fox in an online tournament? Um, I don't really know yet because I only started like not being like, oh, this is just a secondary, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter if I
Mm-hmm.
lose. Ha, 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 like that dumb mentality to have. I
I
like
know exactly what you
lost.
mean.
Yeah. I only lost that like recently when I was like, okay, Foxes, I care about this now. This is real. I need this so bad so that when I
Mm-hmm.
play H, it's not just an auto loss, right?
Right.
And now I also have the idea of like play like actually just play Fox in a major, you know, fuck it, whatever, let's go crazy. And
Mm-hmm.
I do not know how to evaluate those ideas yet. Remember when you told me about like you were talking about like, oh, Peach Puff is so bad at Smash World Tour, and I was like, I have not experienced Peach Puff to be bad. Actually, when I play it, I am victorious. And then I played HBox once, when he like started playing the game
Uh huh.
more,
Uh huh.
and I was like, huh, it seems fiction was right. This is actually, I am not seeing these interactions. This is bad. So I think I am just gonna need to try it. Maybe I just try going Fox at Riptide. Like just the first
Mm-hmm.
tournament, if I don't like get a crazy peach grind.
One thing that
Uh,
I found out with Falco is kind of interesting is that like I mean, I feel like we already kind of know this, but like so much of top level melee is just mental game, like way more than
mhm.
like in game
Oh yeah.
skill. And so like my Falco was getting like way better wins than it deserved to uh
Mm.
at the time. But I also think that like I don't know, like I feel like it trains different aspects where it's kind of like realizing that when you tried your absolute hardest as Fox, you beat somebody that's kind of good already, even though your Fox isn't that good yet. I feel like it just sort of like helps you like climb the ladder of like success with Fox in your head, you know? Hopefully that
What do
makes
you,
sense.
huh? Well, I have like something like that where it's like I played my last online tournament where I played
Mm-hmm.
Fox. I beat B-Bats and Dreffin, and I was
Nice.
like, okay, this is like I play Peach and I know what B-Bats does, and then I've just played Dreffin a million times, and also like, sorry, Fox mains, but beating Dreffin with Fox is not even not even remotely the same thing as beating Dreffen with Peach. Holy shit,
No,
it's not
it's
comparable.
no.
It's
I
from the
know
same
exactly
universe.
what you're talking about.
Oh, I was just doing like I was spamming. I was like, I'm gonna undershoot Nair. I'm just gonna do a random grab, and I get 60%, and I'm like, all those years losing to
Yeah,
Dreffen,
no,
and it
I.
was this easy.
Fox,
Oh,
Fox, kind of crazy.
yeah, so it's
So,
like I've
um,
had those successes, but then
mm-hmm.
I'm looking at my gameplay. I'm like, I don't understand such enormous swaths of this character.
Uh
Like
huh.
they're above me, and I'm like, I'm going to put an up air somewhere. I cannot even fully control where my up air is yet. Much
Mm-hmm.
less I'm having like I don't have a flow chart to shark. Like I can't even make my character do what I want. But I'm like, but I have these wins, but like I have zero edge guard flowchart. I keep drilling shields in a very shield grabbable way. I'm not even hitting the L cancel. I have
Mm-hmm.
no out of shield. I'm like, why is this happening? Like, why do I have any success with this
Fox,
character at all?
Fox, just
Yeah,
broken.
no, it's insane. I don't have ledge dashes. My recoveries are like awful, and it's just I just like nair people
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, and they
Mm-hmm.
die. Ugh, and then I'm like up air, up air. That character's pretty crazy. It's some wild shit.
Definitely an insane character.
Yeah,
Very
I'm
simple
excited.
too.
Yeah, I'm excited for the point at which I understand most of the things I'm doing in the game, and hopefully the character even moves the way I want to. I think it is going to become an issue quickly for others when those things are true.
I'm very sure that is true, yes.
Yeah, but
Because
right now
instead
I'm
of
like,
naring out of shield frame perfect and someone just obs attacking on the other side of the stage, you'll shine a
oh,
shield wave shine up smash frame
oh.
perfect and you'll pop off because you won a major.
Yeah, Essie was just like teching every single nair. She was like missing she was like like whiffing a nair near me, and I'd like down smash. She was like 35, and then she'd omps attack the down smash and go to the other side of the stage. I was like, ah, whatever. Good job
Yeah.
winning neutral me, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Nah, I
No,
feel
it
bad.
is. Yeah. Yeah. I think my biggest obstacle that I'm looking at for the future is, and I don't know how much dual maining you have done in terms of trying to maintain two characters within your head at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just really wondering
Well, I did it with
if there.
Fox Marth, and I did it with Fox Peach. I haven't done it with
Okay.
Fox Falco yet. Although I did
Yeah.
start going Fox in doubles, so I'm like slowly moving towards like having a Fox again.
Okay. So would sh- I just don't even know what the mental framework looks like, and this might be something where I just need to play my Fox until my Fox gets good enough for me to like know all the things that I'm doing, right?
I just yeah.
I don't understand the mental framework for like is it you're switching between like modes and you're like here is my large expansive Peach option set and micro interactions knowledge that I just store in this box. Somehow I'm maintaining all this information. And then here is my big Fox box, which has all of this information, micro interactions, whatever. And then you just like
Yeah.
switch between the boxes? Or is it more of a understand melee in one common language and translate that between the characters? And then, does this question matter at all? And is this just something that, like, I'll just get my Fox way better, and then I'll be like, huh, I can just switch and this is fine? Because it doesn't seem like that's ever going to be the case right now, where
So
from my perspective.
I think everyone probably structures it differently. So if you ask like Leffen or something, maybe he'll have like a different response. But I think that it's like there are two solo mains inside your head. That's like the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Like when I am playing, like, this is something I've noticed that it's for me at least, it's very like, it's kind of like the opposite of like a universal melee model where like knowing the Fox Falco matchup really well from the Fox end, when I switched to Falco, I like suddenly could not predict what the Foxes would do, even though I knew what the Fox should do from the Fox end.
Feeling very similar about Peach Fox and
Yeah.
Fox Peach.
And so I think for me, that sort of solidified in my head that, like, okay, it's very much like two solo mains of different characters, and, like, sometimes maybe you'll find, like, there's certain back airs that I'll like Shark Chic with a certain back air as Falco, and I'll be like, wait a minute, that's the exact same back air as like Fox Chic, you know? Like
Yeah,
it's like this
same.
almost the same move, it's like the exact same spot, or like double jump backwards from edge against Marth, like double jump back regrab is like really similar, and so there's some things that will like carry over. But then it's funny because sometimes I can feel my brain like carry over a chunk, and then there will be like Fox stuff, like residue in my like Falco stuff that I carried over from the Fox side, and I'll like have to like remove it. Like I just remember when I was learning, I would be like, oh, this new part of this one matchup kind of unlocked for me where I'm starting to feel similar to how I did as Fox, but then like random Fox reflexes would like take over while I was playing it, and I kind of just had to like keep just keep working through it. It's like I think the Peach experiences will help to some extent, but like they're like clearly like imports. Anything. Yeah, that's my understanding and the way that it's felt for me and the way that I've noticed watching other players dual main. That's like my take on it.
Do you know what I'm doing right now? I'm getting in close with Fox. This just made me realize this because I had not conceptualized this before. I'm getting in close with Fox, and then I'm being like, holy shit, I'm close to my opponent. It's time to engage in this interaction right now and throw out moves and try to start a punish. I do not understand that Fox can disengage and then has the ability to force interactions otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
The Peach curse.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm like, holy shit, I'm finally in close. It's time to like, do a nair on their shield, like start like trying to hit them with moves as much as I can, like try to chase their escape option right now, like whatever I can to get a hit. Because like with Peach, I get to an interaction, I'm like, thank God, it's time.
You know what's really funny is going the opposite direction. When I picked up Peach, and every time I felt threatened, I would dash away, and I'm like, why isn't this working? Like, and then you're like, wait a minute. When they want to interact with me, I have to interact, and if they don't want to interact, I have to spend 60 seconds looking for it. With Fox, you're just like, we'll interact when I feel like it. And they're like, when's that going to be? And I'm like, I don't know, now! And then they're just like, and they just have to deal with it. It's crazy. Like, Fox is just an unreal character.
No, that's bananas. No, I'm also, I'm like in knockdown, right? And I'm like, I'm in a situation, we're interacting, if I get a get up attack, I can get whatever, tech chase off, but I'm not thinking like, let's become actionable and then be Fox again. Because like with Peach in a lot of spots, I'm like, Peach, like, sometimes it sucks to be in neutral as Peach. And you can get these small little like, ooh, I've hit you with the get up attack, And what you weren't thinking about is how much higher value this is for me in this situation than like if you were tech chasing another character, because like off this tech chase, maybe I get a down smash, maybe yada yada yada. With Fox, it's like uh, I can get out of there and I can start my neutral, and I don't have to be like worrying about that as much. I keep trying to force things right now, and that's like Peach. I think that's like a problem with my Peach, where sometimes I need to know like when to disengage more, because people will just like roll in versus me or like double jump out of the corner, and I'll be like, huh, well, I'm here now, I guess, repeatedly. Maybe that will help both characters having that new perspective of like, let's play neutral out of the scramble, out of the situation that like can result in a high reward thing for me. Value that. Like,
I think it's just hard as Peach because a lot of times when someone wants to interact, like sometimes you can disengage, and then there's a lot of positions, right, where like it's like negative value to disengage, whereas like with Fox, it's almost never negative value to disengage, like pretty much ever.
Yeah.
I think he's just a lot simpler and easier in a lot of ways than Peach.
I saw you put Peach. You made that like it was like a tier list of like hardest characters to like. Was it play or execute in like high level melee? I don't remember if it was play or execute.
It was just pure technical execution.
Yeah, I looked at that and I was like, why are Fox and Peach in the same place when it's easy to execute with Peach but hard to execute with Fox?
Oh, that's really funny.
I was like, this is strange to me.
Most people would see that the opposite. Like,
yeah, I'm like hyperfloat nairing out of shield with Peach every time, but I'm like, now I'm like facing my true enemy, which is short hop nair. I just can't do this shit consistently to save my life. I'm just sitting on the setup. I'm like trying to do it over and over again. Every fifth one I full hop, and I'm like, no.
If you want to know the secret dark truth of the world is that top Fox mains probably couldn't do 10 short hop nairs in a row. I did a mini game with Cody a while ago where all he had to do was not like full hop aerial for a game, and he just kept doing it on accident, like against like a Mewtwo or something. It's literally like you would be so surprised at the number of. And the reason they never fix it, unlike Peach, is because when you full hop nair as Fox, you're just like, oh, I meant that. Like, that's my sick schmicks. Like, you got schmicks.
It's pretty good. It's pretty
good.
And
so it's like, this is okay. So this is sort of separate. Just really quick. This is my general frustration with Fox, is that being the ultra galaxy brain genius Fox is like 0.002% better than like being kind of dumb and messing up a lot with Fox. Like, I feel like the rewards of, like, being really perfect and smart are, like, about the same as someone accidentally full hop nairing and getting, like, an opening. And so I feel like, and then I think that's really different from Peach. You almost never get that as Peach. Almost every time when you get it, you're like, that was deserved. Like, I worked for that. Like, I wake up early and everything like that. So I feel like that's gonna be a weird thing for you as Fox, where you're like, and I think you're already experiencing it, where you're like, how did I win that? Like, I just messed up everything. And I just want to tell you that that's probably not gonna go away.
That's upsetting in a sense.
Yeah. It's okay though, because like you'll be pressing buttons so fast that you'll forget whether you meant it or not, and then you'll just be like, I'm probably just the main character.
I must just be smarter than my enemies.
Yeah, I have 100% done that like 1,000 times, where I try to short hop drill and I full hop drill and they whiff, and then the full hop drill hits, and I'm just like, what am I gonna do out of the shine? Like, that's my only thought. It's just like, yeah, let's go.
Oh my god, just breeze right by. Yeah, no, I don't know. This is going back a little earlier. Glad you have that perspective of Peach as someone who works for the openings. But as a Peach player, I've only had my one experience of high-level melee. So I'm like here, and I'm like, am I working for these openings? Because sometimes I get like a dumb down smash. And I'm like, well, that was kind of dumb now, wasn't it? But I haven't had like...
Never try Marth. Never. Don't try that character. You're going to be real disappointed. I think Fox is a little bit disappointing in that sense too, where like you realize that a lot of Fox's neutral wins like weren't neutral wins, and I think that's what he kind of has over Peach. Like as Peach, you're kind of like, wow, really? Like I kind of power shielded down smash that, like.
Power shield down smash and the Falco Shine clanks. God damn it.
Yeah.
Sorry. that hit a sore spot for me.
Yeah, and it's like
every time it clanks.
And it's like, I don't know. I just think you just got to accept that like you'll work a little bit less as Fox to get openings, and that's just kind of normal. But okay, let's see what else can we squeeze into this lesson. Did you want to go over like other questions or like Peach Falcon or like what do you want to go over?
Peach Falcon. Okay.
We have like 15-ish minutes. I can go a little bit over. I'm chilling.
Yeah. Let me think about it. I wrote down a small list of notes for like things I cared about. Okay. Damn it, I've already asked all of this. What the hell? I stuck to my notes that I wrote down on my phone without looking at
Incredible.
them. Must be a little different with it. Huh. Yeah, I really appreciate your perspective on how to grind up a new character and how to carry two characters with you at the same time. And I have new ideas to try on that. That was, I would say, the main thing that I cared about.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm thinking about my sets from Shine. Things that are actionable for my Peach. The thing that gets me is I did float cancel aerial on shield to down smash, and I lost to full hop out of shield knee like a number of times.
Mm-hmm.
And the frame data for that to work is just, I was fucking that up tremendously.
Oh, really?
Not even on an ideas perspective. Well, float cancel nair down smash, right? That beats roll.
That's
Falcon's
true.
jump is slower than roll
Mm-hmm.
by like what feels like a decent margin, yeah? It's not like,
I think it's like a frame slower.
is it a frame slower?
Well, it might be like 2 frames if you count like his frames right. I don't know which frame of his aerial full hop avoids the down smash. But he has a 4-frame jump squat, and I think roll is frame 3 or something like that.
Okay, so maybe I was just like 0 aerials on shield into like maybe a slightly late down smash, but it's like that's kind of the execution that like I tend to hit when I am playing well, or just like not even playing well. That's like pretty automatic for me.
Mm-hmm.
So having that happen over and over again, I was like, I'm not even in the game right now. Like it's just, but okay. I can divorce my feeling of not being in the set. I can think about specific interactions that I might want an answer to right now. The way Mech recovered felt hard to edgeguard almost always.
Okay.
His drift was...
Do you have an example that I could pull up?
I don't. I didn't prepare for this whatsoever.
No
I only cared
problem.
about the Fox stuff.
That's fine. I can skip through a little bit and look for something while you're talking.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about where I can find value with this.
So
yeah,
I kind of just want to share like my super basic game plan against Falcon.
Okay. I
shared it with Laud. So this is a little upsetting, but basically Laud was having a stream where he was playing against some Falcon. This was a few months ago, and I don't remember which Falcon he was playing against, and he was kind of getting bopped, and he was complaining a bunch about the matchup, and I like popped into his chat. I made a tweet about it because I was happy because he was like thanking me a bunch. But basically I just told him like a few things to do in the matchup, and he's like, no way. And he just started doing it, and then he just started winning like every game. And he was like, oh, you saved me. Like this matchup was horrible for like 7 years, and now it's fixed, and I felt so good about myself. And then the next tournament I saw Laud at, he played with none of that stuff we talked about, and he lost. I'm just so sad still. But maybe it'll be different if I give it to you.
Okay. I will say, my just giving you context on the current spot of my Peach Falcon matchup. I didn't know how to play Melee for a while, and I only remembered around like a month ago. I've been getting my matchups back, but Peach Falcon was one I never actually got in a practice session on. So I didn't have any defined game plan going into the set.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to that, I was not there. My brain didn't show up to the venue as much as I wanted it to on that day, so I couldn't like develop something.
Right?
On the fly,
Yeah. Like
really.
I don't even really want to super go over like the set itself. Like I definitely understand that it's not like a good set for you, or that you weren't really playing well.
Yeah, no, but I think that like right now I can't think of anything actionable from that. So I either need to if I was to find something really valuable in Peach Falcon, I would either need to build up my game plan, play against the Falcon with my game plan, and then say this isn't working or this is working. But I do think right now that yeah, it seems I think the highest value thing. This is like a lot of words to say. Show me the game plan. I think that's the highest value thing we can do right now.
Okay. Super simple. Never face towards Falcon.
Okay.
Unless you're going for some bizarre hyper float up air thing that Wally talks about or something. So basically, the entire strategy, you float about here. Are you watching the screen share?
I'm watching.
Okay, so basically you float about here and you just back air, or you float here and you back air, and that's it. And then after the back air, you crouch, and then you either shield, wave dash, or do another back air, or dash back out of crouch and dash attack, or sometimes you can just do like land dash attack, and it pretty much just beats everything he has. And like he can't really approach into it, and when he gets too close, then you end up in those nice little like scrambles that you like. And there's just so many spots where like, let me see, or let's see if I can get a good one. Yeah, like something like that, right? And it's like I'll just do like this, and then wow, I got hit out of it, and I'll end up shielding a lot from like those positions. Or I'll end up going underneath the back air. But if you're up here and you're doing this, you get caught in like these like, he's gonna up air me. But if you're doing this, like a lot of times the back air, it like doesn't extend you out super far, and you kind of get this like little wall thing going against him, where like you can kind of just like hold that position like forever and just keep back airing until you get like a dash attack. Like, because I'll do stuff like this where I'll get kind of this, and then I'll get like I'll react to the dash attack. I haven't played this matchup in forever, and I'll try to like catch the nair with like a dash attack or whatever, or I get like the back air trade, or a low back air and then dash dance grab or something like that, or this and then power shield, down smash or something. But basically that's just like the main concept of how I play it, and I have not found a Falcon that is able to like break that. It feels like it feels like it kind of makes it even, where like if you hit harder than the Falcon, then you will win. Whereas like otherwise you end up in this weird like, am I doing this? Am I floating and nairing? Because it's like all their moves kind of just like if you do this, they're just gonna like do like their back air stuff as Falcon and hit it. Yeah. But if you're just kind of here, like this kind of doesn't like he's not gonna like back air this, because the angle on this is so different from like that. Mm-hmm. Where like you're kind of winning this angle, whereas like you're kind of losing this angle to like back air.
Yeah. No, for sure losing the approaching nair angle.
Oops. Whatever.
Yeah, I think.
And then the other thing is when I'm edge guarding Falcon, I do this kind of thing as Falco, where I do full hop back and then I do late double jump back air like that as Falco. Obviously, it doesn't work as Peach. But for Peach, I do a different strat where I do full hop and then I'll do backwards double jump nair. And so what you do is you watch their drift, and then okay, let me. And then slot 2. Okay. And then, so what I'll do is I'll do this, and then I go back and hit the nair, or I like jump in and do it. So I'm like this. Oh, I'm jumping too early. So you go like this, you jump, and then you go back to hit the nair. So you can like react to them going past you with this like double jump back nair. Wow. I mixed myself super hard. And for me, the late double jump has been the thing that has been the most like, I don't know. Basically, it's gotten me the most results to do like the late one Although here, while I'm talking, I keep mixing
Yeah,
myself
yeah,
up.
yeah.
But a lot of times,
Now I'm doubting the flowchart. Oh,
yeah,
no.
no, exactly. But a lot of times I'll just jump out to do it, and if you just try to do the float, a lot of times you end up getting like this backwards one. So I just jump up, assuming that he's gonna go like towards the ledge, and then when he doesn't, I used to be able to get this every time with like the drift back. Right now, I am currently unable.
Maybe your Falcon just evolved.
Yeah, apparently. I taught it to Ryo Beat, and I think he got some really good results with it for a while.
I used to edgeguard Peach Parasol like this: is I'd jump out under her, and then I'd double jump back if they started to drift over me and do a net. Okay, yeah, this is the exact same concept as something I've done before.
Okay, good.
I will try this out.
Yeah, and in my experience, despite that horrible example that I hope no one pays attention to, I think that is the best way.
We'll strike it from the VOD. No.
Yeah, yes. So it's in my experience that's the best way. That was pretty much all I wanted to talk about in Peach Falcon.
Cool.
And in my experience, that little plan like took me from not being able to touch Falcon to like doing pretty well against Johnny with my Peach before I stopped playing her.
Yeah, okay. I'll definitely put that down as I'll put it down as like the most default thing I can have, basically, is like no matter how you're playing, have these options in mind as a default. And then I think I'm going to look at when I have a clearer Peach mind and more of a Peach grind,
right.
I'm going to look at the rest of the because right now my brain's kind of fuzzy on like my toolkit.
Oh, totally,
yeah. So I'm like, I was in the set with Mech, and I was like, I would like to hit a forward air, and I would like for that to knock down. And that was most of the ideas that I had, period. And then I was like, he is naring. I would like to hit him. I just like inadvertently ended up like committing myself to like, I'm only going to be in the air. So have fun, Captain Falcon. And yeah, it was pretty rough. But I'll like try and replace that just entirely as a default.
This is just something for you to try out later. I know you're not in Super Peach mode. It's more that just like I just wanted to bring it up because it was like originally what I wanted to talk to you about for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then you're like, I wasn't even playing. I'm just a Fox main. I'm like,
I'm a Fox main right now. No,
so,
that's
okay.
the thing. It's like I don't have a melee bear right now. I sit down on a setup with Shark and B-Bats, and I'm playing Fox, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. I'm doing stuff. I'm thinking. I'm like learning new things. I'm like executing new things for the first time, and I was like, "Where was this with Peach? Come on!"
You know what's the funny thing is, I never really like tried to drop Fox. I just kept having more fun with Falco.
It just occurred.
I kept having more fun with Falco, and then I had Pride, where I was like, well, I'm not gonna switch just for this person. And then, before you know it, you're a solo Falco main for like almost 2 years. So
that is what happened to me with Peach. I just was like, I'm playing like all Peach and no Falco.
Right, yeah.
Just
you switched from Falco originally.
Yeah. No, I was like, well, I'm not going to take the game as seriously, and I'll just play some Peach. And then at like my second tournament as a Peach main, I beat CDK, and I was like, maybe I will take the game seriously, actually.
And it's funny because, it's like you're kind of doing the same thing with Fox now, where you're just like, oh, it's not serious, it's my silly Fox. And, now it's starting to become, like, real again.
It's starting to become serious. But I'm doing the same thing where, like, when I was switching from Falco to Peach, I was still playing my Falco in tournament. And I was losing to Bobby Big Balls, who, at the time, I did not respect his skill whatsoever. And we're playing this Falco Ditto, and I'm just losing. And I'm like, this guy's just pressing buttons better than me. I switched to Peach, I just destroyed him. And I was like, ugh. So I was like, it's just in this place where I was still playing. I was still playing the passionless character, playing the character where I was like, the vibes aren't here right now. If I get in the game and I'm playing out of obligation to have results, who cares?
Yeah,
I'm not improving. If
the vibes aren't there, then you shouldn't be there.
Yeah. I will either try to find a way to summon the vibes, or come Riptide, I will be having a historic underperformance with my shitty Fox.
Dude, it's not an underperformance, because your Fox hasn't been to a major before.
Well, for what I'm going to be seated in bracket, it will be, who cares? Truly, end of the day, who cares? Whatever.
Exactly.
I was just throwing a word out. Yeah.
No, I didn't mean to
All good.
attack it or something.
100, all good. All right. Thank you for the perspective. I
Yeah,
feel
no
as if I
problem.
have a much clearer roadmap.
Okay, awesome.
From where to go.
Okay, cool. I think
And
that was a
also-
really fun talk. I always like hearing
Yeah.
from you and hearing your perspective and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't complain about any players. I meant to do that.
Just past Bobby Big Balls.
Yeah. Oh,
He's the-
I
he's
did
the-
let pass bit. I did
He's
let
the
pass
only one who
Bobby
caught
that.
astray this time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Current Bobby Big Balls, he's up there and he's doing his top platform mix-ups, and God bless him, wish him the best, you know. Keep on jumping through side platform and daring me, you know. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, sounds good. We'll talk again at some point soon, and good luck with the Fox journey.
All right. Thank you.
All right, peace. Have a good night.
Later. You too.